Everyone ready? Tēnā tātou morena. Last night, the National Council of Pāti Māori, made up of the elected electorate representatives, resolved without opposition to expel Mariameno Kapa-Kingi and Tākuta Ferris from Te Pāti Māori for serious breaches of our kawa, of our constitution. This decision follows 6 weeks of rigorous process, robust debate across electorates and branches, hui with members beyond our party, kōrero with the Iwi Chairs Forum and other rangatira, and external mediation. Irreconcilable differences remained. The resolution takes effect today, 10th of November 2025. This decision was not taken lightly. Many hoped the end would be reconciliation. It could not be achieved. We acknowledge the marae our people have felt, and we thank our National Council for upholding our kawa and the best interests of our movement throughout. This internal matter should never have played out in public. It has been an unnecessary distraction at a dark time for our country as this government continues its relentless attacks on our people. It has also taken attention away from the beauty of our communities and our mokopuna and the beauty they are creating. Mana Kuratahi and Hanarawati Maipi Clark are being recognised internationally. Moments we should have been celebrating together.
Today, we continue to reset our focus and our waka. Our job is to make this a one-term government that requires discipline, structure, fortitude and unity. We cannot and will not allow anyone in this waka to sabotage the work and sacrifice that so many have given. Our responsibility and our future are in our hands. This week marks 1 year since the hikoi mo te tiriti, when tangata whenua, tangata tiriti and tangata moana stood together and stopped the Treaty Principles Bill. That is what happens when we are unified and purposeful. That is the standard we expect. We have begun serious and constructive conversations with the Labour Party and the Green Party. Our people on the streets and in the polls have told us they want a government led by our three parties at the helm. We will work to deliver that outcome, community by community, whānau by whānau. From today, we will not comment further on this internal matter. Our energy belongs with our whānau, our whenua, our reo, mokopuna, and with building the mandate to change this government in 2026. Kia ora koutou. Pātai.
Why did Pāti Māori go against the Iwi Chairs Forum and expel them last night when there's a peaceful happening this week?
First of all, the National Council have been through a process and had commenced a process, as we said, 6 weeks ago. The Iwi Chairs Forum, we're aware of that. The meeting this Wednesday can still continue.
Well, so you're excited that Iwi Chairs were now part of Te Pāti Māori's structure. They didn't want this to happen. They're saying this was a bizarre decision to expel before meeting on Wednesday.
It's not a bizarre position when the mana of this movement sits with its membership. And like Debbie said, the National Council already had a process in play. The Iwi Chairs, I want to mihi to the Iwi Chairs, first and foremost, mihi to them for their will and their want to be part of the process. Our National Council, which is made up of the membership where the mana sits for this particular movement, already had a process in play. The biggest thing for the Iwi Chairs and Te Pāti Māori, and it was made explicitly in the first meeting we had with them, was to ensure we had a plan to make this a one-term government. That is the objective that we will be working with the Iwi Chairs. We have been able to continue to reset this waka and to have the conversations with the Iwi Chairs about how we support each other in a rangatiratanga space and in a kāwanatanga space to make sure that this is a one-term government.
Can we just have one at a time? Yes, I think.
What specific actions did Ms. Kapa-Kingi and Mr. Ferris do that breached the Constitution?
I think the Constitution breaches were well known, well documented, and that sits with the National Council. These are things that are important for the membership who, by the way, we've had some that had wānanga over the weekend, 5.5 hour wānanga. We've had multiple hui going on, so they're really well informed. But the breaches are about the standard that we expect from our members, the standard of duty that we have according to the Constitution, the standard of fiduciary responsibilities we have, the standard of behaviour. And they're all outlined in the Constitution. One.
Hoa koina hoki te whakahau a te kaunihera. Ko ngā kaunihera I ahu mai ngā rohe. Nō reira, ko ngā rohe ko kōrero tia, I wēnei kōrero, nā rātau tēnei whakahau. A ko tō māua ko Deb, te kōrero I wā rātau whakahau I tēnei rā. Me te mea hoki, kei te mihi atu rā ki te kaunihera kāroa nei e ruku nei ki roto I tēnei kaupapa. Kare tēnei kaupapa e heipū nei I a rātau I nāpō, e kau. Kāroa nei rātau e ruku nei, kāroa nei e rangahau nei, e whera nei I te huarahi tika mā tātou. Kāroa nei tēnei kaupapa o tātou e toto ana ki runga I te whenua. Nō reira, kua whakahau tia nei rātau I nāpō, kia mutu rāno te whakatoto nei I tā tātou whenua, te whakaaue I te iwi Māori, kāroa nei e aue nei roti te kaupapa nei, ai ko tō māua ko Debbie tēnei rā, ki te kōrero atu ki ngā iwi whānui koina hoki te whakahau a te kaunihera.
Last one.
Kāroa nei e tūwhera ana te tatau, kāroa nei e toto nei ki runga I te whenua. Nō rere I tēnei rā, ko mea tia te kaunihera kānui tēnā. Whakatika te waka, haere tō tika te mai.
Sorry, can we just...
Mikey.
Sorry. That's not a decision that we've made.
So you'll be allowing him to stay on the Parliament as independent?
That's where it sits today.
And why? Why not look at Parliament?
Look, I think what's really important is to recognise that today we've made a decision, and that's where it sits today from the National Council, and that's who makes the direction of the party. No, there hasn't been.
We haven't considered.
Mikey, yeah.
That's a consideration. That's not a consideration that we've made and have had. That would actually be a consideration for the National Council.
I think it's really important to outline, and I think that's been a confusion in the media for a long time. The MPs don't run the party.
Yeah.
The party is run by our governance, which is the National Council. Every decision sits with them. You'll see the decision last night was without opposition. So they're going to have to wānanga and make this direction, and then we'll take instruction from them. All their executives were present and make up the National Council. The MPs don't vote. That was. I think what's really important is that all of us are accountable to our electorates. It's the electorates that have the mana, and it's the electorates that make the decision. That's the instruction that we have. We talk all the time.
I can't say that they're not on board, Mikey. We can't make that explicit, and we can't even say that because they haven't expressed it. The thing is, I can't express that with them because they haven't had that conversation with us. Te Tai Tukiro for a long time have stopped engaging in this particular process. Our constitution is clear around the engagement of those particular, and the National Council made a resolution about a week ago for Te Tai Tukiro to be able to reset that particular electorate to allow them to have their voice back at the table because we haven't been able to have that in the past.
When you say it's a valid position, then Te Kaupapa are down the room and Te Kaupapa, as I understand it, stay.
When you abandon post, it's very difficult to have those conversations. And so we've been trying to have that conversation with Te Tai Tukiro. The resolution was moved by the National Council for Te Tai Tukiro to be able to reset to allow us to have access and to allow us to have a clear pathway for conversations in the future.
I think you just confirmed, though, Taitonga abstained, if that's the knowledge that you know, so that was still without opposition.
Since that decision's been made, have you had discussions?
Good luck, Melissa.
Firstly, with Mariameno or
Not since last night, no.
Constitution reaching that is one of the reasons we're here today, because of the right to today. Are you confident that you guys as co-leaders and your executive have followed the properly throughout this process?
Absolutely. We have had many a conversation, one-on-one, two-on-one, group MP hui-huis. We have had interventions. We have had many hui to try and get to the bottom of this, and they have come. We've come short of a resolution, and we have tried our best. And when tikanga hasn't been able to do that, then we turn to the kawa. So there's two different kōrero here. The kawa is our constitution. The constitution is a tikanga-based constitution, and I want to acknowledge the forefathers who wrote that constitution to keep this movement safe. And that's what the kawa has done today. I have absolute confidence in the kawa. I have absolute confidence in the forefathers that wrote that constitution to bring us to, I think, the right decision made by the council last night.
And both of you know both of these things for more than a year. How are you both?
This is difficult, and this was always going to be a difficult pathway, but as the leaders of this party, it is our job to ensure that we bring stability back to the waka and that we step up where we need to step up. And so it is a difficult, yes, we do have, these relationships go long before Parliament, and it's always a mamae time when we have to make hard decisions and when the movement has to make hard decisions. And so we will continue to reset this waka, make sure that we stabilise this waka, and ensure that we have the discipline, the structure, the fortitude and the unity to be able to make this a one-term government, and that's our objective heading forward.
This is a party, a movement, I'd just like to answer that has done nothing wrong. We had the success of the by-election, we had the success of the 2023, we have had the success of movements that we've mobilised, and no one invited these attacks. But there had to be an end to it, and our people were calling on an end to it. Our electorates absolutely stood up and said what they wanted. It doesn't really come down to what Debbie or Rawiri feel. It's who we're here to serve and who put us here, and that's the decision that's before us this morning.
Do you think that the party should have done anything fit to be part of the next government? I mean, you've just nuked a third of your MPs, you're talking about stabilising the waka. Are you just about to...
I mean, I think, first of all, those are dramatic words. They're dramatic words, nuke. We have a history as Te Ao Māori where our ancestors don't all arrive on the same waka they left on. This is waka papa, this is part of who we are. The reality is, do I think that we're ready to be in government? We are, and that's the decisions, that's the pain of the decisions that we have to make now. Through great pain comes great wisdom. The reality is what we're contending with is the fact that we couldn't all agree on where the movement needed to be. This was nothing else more than that, and we weren't able to reconcile it, disappointingly. What we have able to do, though, is show that we will be straightened up, we will front the challenges, and we will get us ready for 2026, and that's really what we have. There's no other option with this government. And if we had more time, if we didn't have as a destructive government as we had, but that's not the case. So our party have given us a strong mandate of support and to get on and straighten us up for 2026. We're going to see other parties fall out next year. Te Pāti Māori got in first, and it's best to be on this side of Christmas. And we know that it's kept everyone going for a while, and it's raw. It's raw when it's playing out in front of the world to see, but it's a necessary part of our growth.
Do you think that you or the party could have done anything differently over the past couple of months to avoid this ending up where it has? Or was it always from the moment that the overspending allegations appeared or any of that, there was always an end there?
We would have preferred it to have dealt with it inside the caucus and inside the movement. That was out of our control. It was taken to the media before we even had an opportunity to speak about that. And I must say that the media have enjoyed it over the last 6 weeks. And so we've been having to trail this particular narrative and the propaganda that goes with it, not just in the media, in the mainstream media, but also in social media. And the Court of Public Appeal will run its course. This is not our first time we've had to face the Court of Public Appeal. We had to do that during the COVID lockdowns. And so, we've had experience in this particular space, but we had to bring it to a close. And we have to just move on and make sure that we continue to ensure that this is a one-term government. And we are having those conversations with the other opposition parties, which has really been positive.
Saying these decisions are unconstitutional, they go against the tikanga of the party, and the resolutions are illegal. What's your message to them?
They can challenge that legally, and that's all I have to say about that.
Is there a way to appeal this?
There is an appeal process, and that it was entirely up to him to follow that. I have no idea.
Can you just clarify that you're not the National Council, just because people are saying it's not the MPs, it's the executive
Just so we're clear, the party president wasn't present last night, and what we have is a delegation of the National Council made up of the executive chairs, obviously because of the extent of the leaking going on. There are disciplinary processes that allow that as well, but the National Council is made up and has gone into a mode of being very, I think, succinct in how it is that they're meeting, and we've needed them to have the grace of that because, unfortunately, there has been a whole nother outside process. The membership, and I think we've really enjoyed, is that everybody sees Te Pāti Māori as their movement, which is brilliant. But the membership do have the mana, and they have our backs, and they're the ones that have to decide what the process, who is what, who gets nominated from the beginning to the end. They are the ones that put us in place. They're the ones who can take us out as well.
There will be some people in the country who won't like this decision. So are you prepared for the possible backlash and the likes of the Paita and potentially?
Yeah, I mean, we're aware. For a very long time now, people have been hurting. We've fronted multiple hui, multiple wānanga. Nearly every night we've had something that we've had to front on this, and it's not, again, what the party deserved. We've worked hard to be where we are. No one invited these attacks. So we are aware that we're going to have to work hard to keep the confidence. We're going to have to work hard to help these electorates get set up, because some of them don't have the same infrastructure as electorates. We're going to have to work hard to figure out who they're going to put up next.
Absolutely not. That has been a lifelong journey for Te Iwi Māori since we arrived on these shores and before. And if kotaitanga was that easy, we wouldn't have this discussion around kotaitanga, would it? And so kotaitanga is an active thing that we must continue to use. And it's not all having to say the same thing. It's about what do I bring to the table to contribute to the oranga of our people. And so that is what kotaitanga is. Kotaitanga is a continuous principle and value that we continue to strive to achieve. It's not something you just achieve overnight. And if we had the answers to kotaitanga, that it was just something that was magically appeared and magically you could do, we would have done it a long time ago. It would have been done well before all of us were born. So, koina hoki taku kōrero mo tātou koutou.
People may think you're out on the anniversary of the week's day. Was that intentional and the objects of that our people might miss?
Absolutely not. This has been a process in motion by the National Council for a long time, and so it is hit today. The thing is, today and on this anniversary, this country showed leadership. The question that you asked was, is there going to be a fallback by our communities? Absolutely. But there has been a fallback for the last 6.5 weeks of this, and it had to come to an end. And so we've brought it to an end. We must move on, and I wish both Mariameno and Tākuta all the best of luck as we head forward. But we had to bring this to a close, and we must move on, and we must continue to make sure that this is a one-term government.
It was really important. It was really important to us as a movement, and Te Rawiri and I personally, that we regained the confidence of tangata tiriti. They stood with us a year ago. They had the confidence in our movement, and there's been some damage, not just to us. There's been damage to those who believed in Aotearoa and believed in tangata tiriti. That's a critical part of what we have to repair, and we now want to go into that mode of repairing that confidence and showing them that we are true on being able to have an Aotearoa that is inclusive of everyone. That's part of why the decision had to be made. Oh, here we go.
Oh, absolutely. So we will continue to have those positive and constructive kōrero with the Labour and the Greens Party, because it's important that if we're going to make this a one-term government, that the opposition benches need to be working together. And so we continue to have those hui with them. And so the strategy is clear. Make this a one-term government. We're to stop this debacle and ensure that our people had the confidence that we could make those hard decisions to ensure that we could move forward. So,
is it damage to the relationship with tangata tiriti, the reason Tākuta Ferris has gone? You actually said what they did wrong.
That is for the Constitution to determine that. The thing is, we don't just come out here and say they've done something wrong and then make an announcement like this. The Constitution has guided us, and like I said, I have absolute confidence in that. And that information sits with the National Council. It has also been presented to the two MPs, and that is how we're going to leave it. You're not going to get that detail here in this press conference.
One question.
Is the thing that Tākuta is alleged to have done wrong, is that something that's already in the public domain, or is it something else that you're suggesting that the National Council?
I've just answered that question. Thank you very much. Kia ora tātou.
Appreciate you. Look after yourselves.